press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello all. Today I am here yet with another learning vlogs about a prose, that is letter to a god, the grammar. The letter to a god, the 10th standard Cbse English textbook. This is from. So about a grammar. So today I will be going to be discuss about the grammar of letter to a god. Here there are some grammar part. So students, today I am going to give some assignments also about this grammar. You know that this lesson very well. In the beginning you have understood that what is the lesson, the letter to a god, and in this there are some questions are there. So you have to read the lesson, understand it, and you try to write this answers for those questions. So today I am going to deal with a grammar. So I am going to start with page number 8, thinking about a language. So in that part, so there is a different names in different parts of the world for a storm. You know, for our storms we have given a different names in all over the world. So it has depending upon the nature. The storm, we can say cyclone, we can say hurricane, typhoon. So many different names are there depending upon the nature, depending upon their the furious storms. Furious, some are not furious. Can you match the names in the box with their description below and fill in the blanks? You may use a dictionary to help you. Here there are some words. The words like gale, whirlwind, cyclone, hurricane, tornado, and typhoon. So these are related. These words are related to the storms, and you have to refer the dictionary. So what kind of these words are and what are their meanings are. But here in your textbook, the meaning already given, but you need to choose that which is the word is suitable for. Okay, here I'll say something. A violent tropical storm in which strong winds move in a circle. You know this. The violent tropical storm. So this storm is coming from a tropical region and it moves in a circle. So this is called cyclone. So here some words are missing here. You have to write this cyclone. An extremely strong wind. The wind is very strong. So that is called gale. The answer is gale. A violent tropical storm with very strong winds. This storm is coming from a tropical region and it is called very strong winds. The wind is blowing very strongly. So it is called as a typhoon. 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 A violent storm whose center is a cloud in the shape of the funnel. It is called as a tornado. It is called as tornado. 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 A violent storm with very strong winds, especially in the western Atlantic Ocean. So this storm is very strong and it is related with wind, and it is especially in the region of western Atlantic Ocean. It is called as a hurricane. Hurricane. A very strong wind that moves very fast in a spinning movement causes a lot of damage. It's called whirlwind. 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 So this is about a first exercise of your grammar. The next is, here there is a word called notice. Here I am going to deal with the relative clause, but I will do this at the last because here there are some activities are there, but I am saying some answers, but you have to do the work later. Whatever the doubts are, so you have to write down and find out in a dictionaries. If you have any questions, if you have any doubts, so it is going to help you when the school starts. Notice how the word hope is used in these sentences from the story. So in this lesson, the letter to a god, So there is a word called hope. Hope. It is used in a different ways. So this word hope gives a different meanings with the different expressions. When we use in a different expression and according to the situation, it gives a different meaning. So here it has used in a different sentences in this story. I hope the hailstorm passes quickly. So who said this? Lencho said this. There was a single hope, help from God. So these two sentences said by Lencho, but according to situation, the hope is used in a different manner. So in this column, we come to know about there is two columns given, that is column A and column B. So in that you have to match those sentences with their meanings. So but the word is related to hope. This hope is mentioned here. You have to find out that. So which sentence is suitable to that question? So here the example given, hope is a verb which means you wish for something happen. So what is this? Hope is nothing but it's a wish. We are wishing something, it would be a happen. The second example, it is a noun meaning chance for something to happen. So in a second example, in a two forms we see this hope. So one is, so it is wishing for something it could be a happen. And it is meaning as a noun and it says that chances of something to happen. So here there are two columns. In that two columns, column A, so there is a question. Will you get the subjects you want to study in college? I hope so. So here the question, this statement in a question form. Will you get the subjects you want to study in college? So which answer is suitable here? Here there are so many options are given. So here is that thinking about the ideas, it is telling that thinking that this would happen. Feeling that something good will probably happen. Stop believing that this good thing would happen. Warning something to happen. Showing concern that what you say should not offend or disturb the other person, a way of being polite. Wishing for something to happen, although this is very unlikely. So these are the answers are given, but you have to relate these answers, relate these questions according to their expressions. So with the word called hope. So this is about, I wanted to say you. So here is third main, there is a grammar called relative clauses. So I will do at last this. So before that, here there is in page number 10, find sentences at the last end. Find sentences in the story with negative words with the express the following ideas emphatically. So here says, in that story there are some negative words. Negative words, what is negative words and what is positive words? Negative as well as positive words. So negative words, which is a word, the word used for no, not, nothing, never. So this in a sentences when we use these words like no, not, nothing, never. So that sentence shows that it is a negative sentences. And in positive, if we are not using this no, not, nothing, never, so that sentence is called as a positive sentence. For example, I'll write here, the boy is drinking coffee. The boy is drinking coffee. If this is called as a positive sentence. If we use this, no, not, never, nothing, according to situation, these four forms we are using. But here, the boy is not drinking coffee. He's not drinking coffee. So now this sentence comes in a negative form. Okay. Here in this sentence, there are some story with negative words. Here in the story, there are some negative words. So we have to utilize some these of the negative words, and we have to find out that which of the sentences are present in this lesson. Here says that we know that sentences with the words which such as no, not or nothing show absence of something or contract something. For example, this year we will have no corn. So corn will be absent. So this sentence is called as a negative sentence. The hail has left nothing. The hail has left nothing. There is no crop at all. In this prose, we see that in that story, what the hailstone destroyed, the whole crop has nothing. There is not remained a single crop in the form. These aren't raindrops falling from the sky. They are new coins. So this contracts the common idea of what the drops of water falling from the sky are. So this is about. The negative words are used just to emphasize an idea, to look at these sentences from the story. Lencho had done nothing else but see the sky towards the northeast. He had done only this. So in this sentence, the nothing word has used here, so it gives a negative sentence. He has not done nothing. He only looked for the sky, for a rain. So this has the action of Lencho. The man went out for no other reason than to have the pleasure of feeling the rain on his body. He had only this reason. He went out for no other reason. He don't have any other reason. He went for some of the reason, but that reason it gives a particular meaning. Lencho showed not the slightest surprise on seeing the money. He showed no surprise at all. So when he see the money, he was not surprised. So here some of the sentences given here. The trees lost all their leaves. In that story, when you read the story, you get some negative sentences which is related to these words. So what kind of a word here? The trees lost all their leaves. For example, I'll write the sentence on the board. So that could be helpful for you. So in this sentence, the sentence like the trees lost all their leaves. The trees lost all their leaves. This sentence gives in a positive form. Okay, here there is no, not, nothing. These sentences are not present. But you have to find out those sentences which are present, those negative forms like no, not, nothing and never. I'll give the example here. In the story, there will be the sentence called, not a leaf remained on the trees. Not a leaf remained on the trees. So, that gives a negative form. So the answer for this, so this sentence has present in the textbook, in the lesson. So what is the sentence? Not a leaf remained on the trees. On the trees. Not a leaf remained on the trees. When the hailstorm, when the wind comes, a single leaf has not remained. So that gives a meaning. So this not has used here. Okay. So it is used as a negative form. So this is called. So another two questions are there here. The letter was addressed to God himself. According to this statement, according to this sentence, so there is a sentence or present which gives a negative form. So you have to find out and try to write the answer. This is your assignment. The postman saw this address for the first time in his career. So this is also presented. This is in a negative form. You have to find out in a lesson. So this is called. Next I will move on to fifth main, that is metaphors. Do you know the metaphors? All of you? So it gives, it's about a poetic form. Metaphor, simile, personification, which shows which kind of a figure it is. It's called as figures. Okay, so here metaphors. The word metaphor metaphors. These metaphors come from Greek word meaning transfer. So this metaphor derives from Greek meaning, Greek word which means transfer, which means transfer. Metaphor means transfer. Here, metaphors compare two things or ideas, a quality or a feature of one thing is transferred to another thing. Some common metaphors are, okay. So here it says that metaphors, it compares the ideas, it compares the things, it compares the quality, it compares the features. So that gives a comparison. It transfers. So this is called as a metaphor. Here, the example given, the leg of the table. Okay, the leg of the table. You know, the human body has the legs. So what it is? It has the legs. And when we see that, the table also has the legs. So it compares, the leg is comparing to human's legs to table legs. Okay. So object supports the table, it describes as a leg. The heart of the city. So there is a heart in the city? No. The main part of our body is the heart. And that city is also symbolizes called a heart of the city. So it compares to the heart to the city. So this word is used to describe the central area of the city. So it is called as a central area of the city. So it is. Here there is a two column given in your textbook. The two columns are given here. Object, metaphor, object, metaphor, metaphor, then quality. Quality. Okay. Here, object, cloud. In this lesson, the cloud symbolizes what? It compares what? The cloud, it compares to huge mountains. Here, there are example has given here, huge mountains of clouds. Metaphor. It is, this sentence is called as a metaphor. The cloud is compared to huge mountains of clouds. The clouds is look like a mountains, a huge mountains. The quality means the mass, its size. The quality what? The size of the clouds. It looks like a mountains. Next is raindrops. So raindrops. In that lesson, the letter to our God. So raindrop is compared like a coins. What coins? New coins. Coins, pesos. You know, there is a word called peso. Peso means the rupee which is used in a Latin America. So that is called, that gives that the currency. So now raindrops, it looks like a coins. Coins. It is nothing but a currency. The quality is currency, a thing. So like it is, so this is your assignment. You have to find out the answers from your lesson. That is hailstones. what it is in the next hailstones, then locusts. After this, sorry, I wanted to rub this here. I hope that all of you getting me. Here, locusts. And next is, there is a column. After that, lenchu. Okay, so what it compares? You have to find out the metaphors and its quality. So now it comes to the grammar, that is clause. Clauses. Clauses means it is a group of words which describe the subject and verb. Okay, so what is clause? It is a group of words that describes subject and verb. Subject and verb. Okay, for example, Lancho is working in farmyard. Okay, so this is the example. Here in this sentence, this is a group of words, so that gives a sentences, a complete meaning. So that is called as a clause. Okay, it has the meaning. So whatever here present, here the Lencho, he is a subject. Here working, it is a verb, actions. Okay, it is a helping verb and it is an object. But we only look for these two. In a sentence, we have a subject and verb that gives a clause and it gives a complete meaning. So this clause has complete meaning. Complete meaning. So it is called as a clause. Okay. Here, if I rub something from the, if I rub this, Lencho is farmyard. It gives a meaning. What is this? Lencho is farmyard. There is a lack of information. There is a lack of information. If I rub this, Lencho is what? We don't have any actions. So it gives an incomplete meaning. So it is not a clause. It is not a clause. So in this clause, we have two types of clause. Dependent clause and independent clause. Okay. But this is about the clause. I hope that all are understood this. So, guys, you have to find out some sentences, try to write the sentences which gives the complete meaning. If it is not give a complete meaning, it gives a complete meaning. So this clause is called as it is called as a independent clause. It is called as a independent. So there is no helping things. There is no depending on another thing. So dependent clause which helps for the other things. It has dependent clause. So the clause it has divided into two types, that is independent clause and dependent clause. So dependent clause the sentence which depends on something. Without that word it can't give a complete sense. But in independent clause it gives a complete sense. The sentence only it gives a complete sense. So now I am going to deal with relative clause. So now you understood this. What is this clause? Now this relative clause. Okay. In the story, there are some sentences which we find out some relative clause. Which of those sentences are here? All morning Lencho, who knew his fields intimately, looked at the sky. This is one sentence. Another sentence is, the woman who was preparing supper replied, yes, God willing. These two sentences has the relative clause. Can we define it? How we find out this relative clause? Okay. Here, in your textbook, if you look at the textbook, there is some italicized words are there. Okay. So, their font are changed. In that sentence, the related, some fonts are changed here. And information about the word, the woman and also Lencho. So, in that two sentences, I will write the sentence here. All morning Lencho, who knew his fields intimately looked at the sky. Look at the sky. So this is a sentence. This is the first sentence. Another sentence is, the woman who was preparing supper replied, yes, God willing. God willing. In these two sentences, there are some relative clause. So now we can find out this, how we find out the relative clauses. Here, the relative pronoun, it is relative clause is nothing but a relative pronoun. So which are the relative pronouns are? Relative pronouns. Relative pronouns are nothing but who, whom, whose, that, which. So, who, whom, whose, that and which. So, these are called as relative pronouns. These are called as relative pronouns here. Here, in this sentence, who means it says about a Lencho. Then here, who, the woman and Lencho, these two persons are related about one another, and this who says about a woman, and this who in this sentence it says about a Lencho. You know how to find out if it is not there, if it is, we don't know about this who, just we see it in this sentence. Another way of finding that this is a relative clause, because wherever in the sentence we find out there is a hyphen and also commas. The sentence where we find out there is a relative clause is present, before that we find out there is a hyphens and also commas. So here, after that, this is a relative pronoun. So when we see that in that sentence there is a relative pronouns are present, so that sentence is called as a relative clause. That describes the relative clause. Here it says about a Lencho, here it says about a woman. So this is called as a relative pronouns which says about a relative clause. I told you here, relative pronouns are, who, whom, whose, that and which. Like this it is. Here non-defining relative clause usually has the comma in front of it and there is a dash or called hyphens. Here join the sentences given below using who, whom, whose, which as suggested. In your textbook, the activity has given here. So there is a sentences. I often go to Mumbai. Mumbai is the commercial capital of India. So here the Mumbai word has repeated 2 times. The pronouns are repeated in 2 times. In this sentence, this whole sentence is telling about a city. The city called Mumbai. So when we see that, when we look at the sentence, here is a full stop. So when look at the next, there is a again the word is repeatedly came here. So here instead of using Mumbai, we can add up here which. Like I often go to Mumbai, which is the commercial capital of India. Once again I repeat, I often go to Mumbai, which is the commercial capital of India. So in this sentence, it is called as a relative pronoun. Okay, relative pronoun, and it is a relative clause. Now this word is given complete meaning. In this sentence, it says about a city. Which city? Mumbai city. Okay, so this is like that. You have to start work on the remaining questions. Here the second one is, my mother is going to host a TV show on cooking. She cooks very well. So you have to find out where you have to write this who, where you have to add this who relative pronoun in this sentence. Here in the third sentence, these sports persons are going to meet the president. Their performance has been cancelled. So in this sentence also there is a relative clause and there is a relative pronouns. What you have to do, instead of using their pronouns, you have to use this relative pronouns. Lend your prayer to God, His eyes into our minds. Like in the bracket there is a whose. Whose means relative pronouns. This man cheated me, I trusted him. Again the relative pronoun whom. So like that we have to find out how these relative clause are going to find out in these sentences. I hope that all are getting me these points. So all the grammar part I had covered here. Excuse me. Okay, so these are some of the activities of you for work on by reading the lesson. You have to write the answers in your textbook. I hope that all are understood this relative pronouns and its grammar and what are the relative clauses and how this sentence says about a relative clause. So all of you guys stay safe, be learning. Thank you.